So first thing I want to ask is who met who first?
Bre and
us,
I definitely met
Yeah.
first.
Yeah. I played club with Amber on Avalanche growing up, and then I actually played like against Brooke in basketball, middle school basketball.
What?
Yeah, we started out as enemies. Just kidding.
Who had the better basketball game?
I think my team
Bre was pretty good.
but Brooke was like the star. She didn't really have a lot of help.
Well, okay, I literally was the team in middle school. Like it was just me. So I looked really good, but I don't know if I was really good.
That's funny. So Amber, what was your first impression when you first met Brooklyn?
Brooklyn?
Yeah.
So I met Brooke my senior year. I switched clubs and she was the keeper / forward on that team. And anyone who knows Brooke loves Brooke. She's hilarious and she's goofy and she's funny. She's like a character. So, that's kind of my first impression and it's kind of stuck. So, we love Brooke.
Bre, what about you? What was your first impression of Brooke?
Trying to remember. Well, at first, I think I was fresher in basketball, at least. Like, she would just put her head down, and she was so fast and just, like, score. So I was like, who is this girl? But then, like, getting to know her on the team, like, she has a quiet side, but also, like Amber said, she's just so funny and just, like, her own person.
Now, Brooke, what was your first impression of Amber and Bre?
So we kind of like, I knew them from like club soccer and basketball. So it was always like, oh, they're on like the other team. I would have never disliked them, but they were always like the enemy kind of. But I remember like officially meeting both Bre and Amber, and I thought they were so sweet, the cutest girls, like so fun. They got me so excited to play college soccer. I was like, am I playing college soccer with these guys? Oh, so I just like from the get go when we officially like met each other, I thought they were so cool.
For all three of you, I know Brooke and Bre, you both left midway through your careers to serve missions for the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints. But do all three of you feel like your time went by like really fast, or did it go by slow? Like how do you guys feel? Amber, we'll start with you.
Everyone says it's so cliche, but it goes by so fast. Especially for me, I was lucky enough to get a COVID year back, and that was such a blessing because I felt like my time here was so short, and I got another season luckily. So yeah, for me it went by so fast, and I've been here 6 years, so that's saying something, I guess.
Bre, what about you?
I kind of remember, I think I was talking to her about it not too long ago, like before the mission and after, like I've just seen people like come and go, like graduate and like new players or transfers, and it's like we've been here through it all, and so it's like the team has changed, but we don't feel like we're necessarily like aging. I don't know. Obviously we're the oldest ones on the team, but it's fun to just like, obviously we're seniors now, and just try to like be an example and take leadership. It's been awesome, gone by fast.
Wait till you're 30, and then once you're 30, then you're gonna wake up and be like, okay, age has definitely hit me. That's what happened to me. Now, Brooke, what about you? Did you feel like your time has gone by pretty quick or fast or slow?
It kind of went by pretty fast. I feel like it was funny because I was just messaging Jessica Duffin, so she was the goalie before me. And we were just kind of talking because I put a little post out on Instagram about my like senior game and whatever. And she was like, it's crazy. It feels like yesterday, like you were just a little senior in high school and getting ready to come to college. I was like, I know. I was like, yesterday I was watching your game, seeing you slay it, like getting so excited to like follow in your footsteps. Like it's just kind of crazy how fast it's gone by. But it seems like a long time. But then when you look back, you're like, oh, that was way fast.
Now, let's see, Brooke, we'll start with you. But so far, what has been your favorite moment?
There's been so many, but I do think winning the WAC championship in 2017, that was pretty special because it was in a PK shootout. And I got dogpiled, and that's just like there's not like no feeling that you can kind of like describe to compare to that. It was so fun, such a like crazy moment. I kind of think that's probably the highlight was the 2017 championship.
Amber, what about you?
I would say this last spring, beating Memphis in the first round. I've never cried of joy, but I literally after that game, I could not control myself and I just started bawling, like happy tears. And yeah, it was like the best, coolest feeling ever. I had chills the whole time, and we just had such a good team that was so bought in together, and I feel like we're on that same path. But yeah, so much fun. That was the best moment ever.
Love it. Bre?
I think I would just combine the two, honestly, like being like winning the WAC the first time, and then obviously the second time being able to go to the tournament and win the first round. I think just both of those moments, like we built off that first time, and although it was like a couple of years later, it was just like we were able to prove that we could go further. So they still both have what I was gonna say.
Now, when all three of you came to UVU at your own time, was there like a certain player or a certain person that you looked up to that kind of took you under their wing that you kind of attribute a lot to at all? Did you guys ever have any of that? Bre, we'll start with you.
I feel like I had a few. I just I really looked up to the seniors, especially. I feel like Sue and Mel just kind of like really took me under the arm, and every time I like roomed with them or anything, they would just like hype me up and try to like calm my fears and stuff. And I think that was, I don't know, that just helped me a lot and helped me understand that like, I don't know, seniority doesn't really matter. Even though I was a freshman, like I was just as important as any player on the team. So that was awesome.
Right on. And Brooke, was Duffin that one for you?
Yeah, I have like a really special place in my heart for Jessica Duffin. We never even played together, but she's been such a huge part of my like playing at UVU. She's always been kind of like one of my hype men, and will send me cool messages and notes, and has just always believed in me from the very first day. And so I really look up to Jessica Duffin. She's cool.
Amber, what about you?
Yeah, I've had quite a few. Some a lot older than me, some just, a year or two older than me. And it's just kind of depended on the year. As they've graduated, I've kind of found somebody else who's like my little hype man. But I had a girl, well, everyone knows Kassan. She played before I even got there. And she just kind of stuck around and was my cheerleader throughout it all. And she'll like still text me like, hey, you played awesome in that game or whatever. And I just think it's cool that we have alumni like that, where I didn't even play with her, but she's still like involved and so hyped about our team and stuff. And I think there's a ton of girls like that. So UV is kind of special that way.
That's awesome. For all three of you, I'm not trying to poke at all the little heartstrings here. I just generally curious, because I got thinking about you girls playing your final home game. I started thinking about when I played my final home baseball game in high school, and it's just, I don't know if you're different than me, but I was just kind of in it and so focused. And then like once it kind of happened, I was like, oh, that was it. So do you feel like you're more nervous going into this weekend, or were you more nervous putting on the jersey and strapping it up for the first time? Bre?
That's a good question. I think a lot of people have asked me like, oh, what's your last game? Like, how do you feel? And I think, yeah, for me, it hasn't really kicked in yet. It's just kind of like, yeah, I want to like do my best, leave it on the field. But I think the nerves and things probably won't, I don't know, the sadness and stuff probably won't hit till a little later. So probably, did you say like the first time putting on cleats, or what were you saying?
Like your first time as a UVU Wolverine in your first game?
Yeah, I think I probably won't have as many nerves, just a lot of mixed feelings about like finishing my career and trying to end strongly.
Brooke, what about you?
I think, yeah, I don't know if I'm not necessarily nervous for my last 2 home games. But it's just kind of like, it's just kind of surreal. This is like, whoa, this is actually happening. And this my time has finally come, but I'm very excited. I'm excited for these next two games and just ready to go out there and kick some booty.
Amber, what about you?
I'm kind of like Brooke, just really excited, honestly. The more I think about it, I'm like, oh, that's so sad. But I think I'll just try and take everything in and, remember what the grass feels like or all the fans and just like things that you can't ever get back. So, I mean, nerves, I'd say putting on the jersey the first time was probably the scariest thing on the planet. But now, like, we've been there, done that. So we just kind of want to take it all in and, kind of be more excited for it than anything.
Excellent. Okay, last 2 questions for both of you, or for all 3 of you. First off, we'll start with you, Amber. What has been one thing that you feel like you've learned the most during your time at UVU?
I've learned a lot of things, but I keep saying this. I had an interview with you just a couple of days ago, but just hard work. I think I've really learned that if you want something, you can go get it, and you actually can if you take the time and you grind it out. And, I think that's what UVU has taught me. I think the coaching staff has taught me that, and just learning to, figure out what you want and then actually go get it. And they've kind of instilled that in me. So.
Love it. Bre, what about you?
I think something recently I've been thinking about is just how to overcome challenges. I think the coaching staff has done a good job of just like helping us see that, like, yeah, there'll be challenges in life, and like how we respond and react to them is like what matters. Like there's going to be tough games, and obviously there's injuries and setbacks that you can have. And I know we've all had those and been through those things, but I think just like Amber said, like how we respond, are we going to work hard and be more motivated, or are we just kind of like going to roll over? I don't know. It's not any of our personalities to give up. So I think just pushing through and persevering is what I've learned.
Love it. Brooke?
I think one thing that I've taken away or learned from playing at UVU is just giving full effort for others around me, and really like supporting and pushing for my teammates. I feel like growing up, it was a lot of just like, how can I be the best? How can I do this? But joining this team and just seeing the examples of other people around me and how selfless everybody is just like, how can I help the team? How can I be a good friend? How can I be a good example? Whatever. It's really rubbed off on me. And that's been something that I don't know if I've mastered, and that it's a continual process, but I'm much more aware of how I can help the next person, or how I can just smile at somebody or try to make somebody's day. I'm much more aware of how I can help those around me, which is something that I can take for the rest of my life.
Awesome. Now, last question for all 3 of you. You've been a part of some fantastic teams. This team has a great mix of young talent and some veteran leadership. Where do you feel like this team can go, or how far do you think this team can go? Amber, we'll start with you.
I mean, this team can go as far as we want to go. Honestly, like we can break records, we can make history, because we're just as good talent-wise as we have been any other year, if not more. And I think the heart and the buy-in and all that is there. And so I think we can go as far as we allow ourselves to or want to. So I'm so excited. I think we have a great team.
Because this week might represent your final home games, but there's still plenty of soccer left to be played with you ladies. Bre, in your eyes, what are some things that you feel like this team has to do to continue this journey to set those records like Amber talked about?
I think it goes back to what Brooke was talking about. Like, we got to play for each other and never like settle for anything less than our best. I think, just making sure we hold each other accountable at practices and at games. We're completely bought in, and I can tell lately, like, there's just been a really good energy and vibes with the team. So I think it's only going up from here.
Love it. And lastly, Brooke, one of the captains and the signal callers behind the post. What are you expecting from Seattle and from California Baptist this week?
They're both very good teams. They always show up to play. They're aggressive. They're hardworking. So we can. Chris talks about a lot how we have a target on our back. We're a very good team, and a lot of people know it. It's no longer like, who's this Utah Valley team? Like, we're not a surprise attack anymore. People know that we're good, and so he tells us that we can expect a team's best every time we play them. And so I think we can expect their best, but we've come a long way, and I feel like now we're starting to click, and things are falling into place. And in the last couple of trainings, we've looked really good. And so I think if we just, like, a combination of all of the things we talked about, we stick together as a team, we support each other, and we just give our best effort, I'm very positive about the outcomes of these next 2 games.
Excellent. Love it. Well, ladies, I've said this to you before. I'll say it again, but it's been a pleasure to be able to watch all 3 of you play and to grow on the pitch and off the pitch. And your work ethic, all 3 of you, is phenomenal. And you're only going to be successful. You're just going to continue to be successful on and off the pitch after your career is over here. But we still have a lot of soccer left. So thank you for joining us on the podcast, and we'll see you out there on the pitch this week, ladies.
Thanks,
Thank
Brandon.
you.
We will miss you too.
Thanks, Brandon.
Yeah,
We'll be in touch.
okay, sweet.
All right. See ya.